Good afternoon, everybody. Like, we can start our class after a few minutes. So only some of the members are going to join now. So let us wait a few minutes. Thank you. Hello. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Srinivas sir. Okay, let us start our session. Just wait a minute. Thank you. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. In the last class, we are discussing about the fourth unit. So that is structural pattern. So we're already discussing about this all these topics. So I think today better we try to revise the entire fourth unit. So that is the best for to us because so if you start our fourth unit, it will be completed within a short time. So that's why today I try to again revise the fourth unit. So we try to clearly observe this. Our next rest of the time, we try to discuss about the fifth unit. So from tomorrow onwards, definitely we will go through fifth unit. And better you try to practice first three units to attempt the first minute. Okay, and another thing, some of the members not submitting the assignment up to now. Maybe some of the members send the assignment to my mail. So better, so who are already sent to my mail, so please send back to the classroom also, Google Classroom. Up to now, just I received only 59 students. So I think we are our total strength 96. So better you try to submit those assignments at least today evening. Okay. Okay. In the last class, we are discussing about the structural patterns. Okay. So up to now, we're discussing about the different types of patterns. So those are the first one is creational patterns, and the second one is structural patterns, and third one is behavioral patterns. I think the name is implies. But in the exam point of view, definitely asking asking two questions from each and every unit. So that means if you are consider A and B, okay. So in the case of structural patterns, here also maybe asking the chance of two questions. So better we try to conclude today. So first of all, adapter. So in the case of structural patterns, these are mainly used for to forming the structure. So that means verifying the structure. So which type of components are needed. So those are verified into the structural patterns. So that means in the case of creational patterns, those are used for creating the objects. In the case of structural patterns, those are used for to forming the structure. So that means verifying which type of things are necessary and which type of things are not necessary. So these are verified into the structural pattern. Okay, please just wait a minute. Okay. Okay, thank you. Hello. Okay. So structural patterns are used for verifying the structure. So that means before developing the software, definitely we are verifying the architectural pattern. So that means which type of modules are necessary, which type of functions are necessary, so which type of subclasses are necessary. So in this type of here we are verifying, so which type of things are necessary. In the case of structural pattern, so those are verified and those are arranged according to the user requirement or maybe the according to the organization requirement. So in the case of structural pattern, so first of all, we are discussing about the adapter. So these are the main main things in the structural patterns. Those are adapter, bridge, composite, decorator, FCAD, flyweight, and proxy. In the last classes also we are discussing about these topics. So just we try to conclude today. That means we need not to revise again the unit. So the same type of procedure we are followed from the last 3 units. So after the completion of first unit, I'm revising the first unit. In the same way, second unit also, third unit also. Now I'm following the same procedure. So don't try to feel this is one of the task to you. Okay, just to try to revise, just to try to simply revise each and every topic. Okay, next rest of the time we'll try to discuss about the fifth unit. Okay, thank you. So first of all, what is the structural pattern? In the software engineering, structural design patterns are design patterns that ease with the design by identifying simple way to realize the relationship between entities. So that means, so what is an entity? So for example, when we are consider some software, so definitely first of all we try to identify which type of data is necessary to forming the software. Am I right or not? So for example, maybe if you are developing the software for some particular business organization, then which type of data will be collected here? So that means which type of things are necessary. For example, if it is a college, then which type of data we are collecting? So how many number of students are there, what are the student names, what are the student numbers, how many number of branches are there, how many number of books are there, how many number of availabilities for the students. So details about the faculty and details about the remaining facilities in a college. So like this, am I right or not? So that means before creating a software, definitely we will collecting this type of data. Why? Because that is the major step for designing of any type of the software. In the same way, here also structural pattern mainly identifying the relationships between the entities. So that means we are drawing the relationship from one module to the another module in a software. For example, maybe so if we are consider some college, so that is a software. So we are consider some software for the college. Then we are consider different types of modules. Am I right or not? For example, maybe students is a one module, faculty is one module, library is one module. Okay, so in this type of we are having different types of modules. Exam section is one module. Okay, so in that exam section we are giving some providing the space for search. So in that search, so maybe we are search by student, search by roll number, so search by year also. So that means here we are drawing some relationship between the entities. So that means student is an entity, faculty is an entity, library is an entity. So I also know about what is an entity. Entity is a thing or object in the real world. So that means which type of thing is having the attributes. So that type of the thing will be referred as an entity. Am I right or not? So that means which is able to explain through attributes. For example, student. So what are the attributes for the student? Student ID, student name, student age, student marks, student phone number, student address. Am I right or not? So in this type of way, so this student entity is having different types of attributes. So that means here we are drawing the relationship from one entity to the another entity. That type of the thing will be done by using the structural pattern. I think the name is implies. So that means here pattern. So we are maintaining some structure in which type of way it will be visible to the users. So that is also the main concept. So before delivering the software to the end user. So for example, maybe if you are observing the similar softwares, for example, maybe so giving the information about trains, so many types of softwares are available. But if you are compare those type of sites, some of the sites representation is so no one of the softwares are same type of design. Am I right or not? So that means these are maintaining different types of design formats, different types of design patterns. So why? Because so it will be reducing the complexity from one pattern to the another pattern. So for example, if you are observing one software, so it will be directly asking what is the train number and it will be giving the position of the train. So in the same way, if you are observing some other software belongs to the train status, so then it will be asking, so maybe the giving the status about the station, so in which time it will be maybe available in that particular station. So not only giving the status, so it will be giving the extra facilities. Am I right or not? In the same way, we are able to take the ticket before, so need not to so that type of the purpose also we are using some other softwares. So that means here we are maintaining different types of structures. So in the case of structural pattern, verifying which type of structure is suitable for to the end user. So that is the main step. So that means in the case of creational patterns, just only creating the objects. So that means whenever user click that particular interface, then it will be connected to the relevant object. Then it will be performing the so required functionality for the client. So in this process, we are consider the three types of patterns here. So those are the one is the creational pattern, structural pattern, and another one is the behavioral pattern. So structural pattern just only we are considered in the static way. Why? Because those are so just here we try to verify how many number of modules are there. So and we try to identify is there any requirement to accommodate some other modules or not. Okay. For example, the first one is the adapter pattern. So the name is implies. So please try to remember these topics through the keyword. So adapter pattern adapts one interface for a class into one that the client expects retrofit interface the patterns. An adapter is used as a new interface for multiple classes at the same time. So adapter pipeline use multiple adapters for debugging purposes. So that means here adapter's purpose is used for one interface can be act like as for more than one class. So that means here we are adapting something. So in the same way, what is the purpose of bridge pattern? Bridge pattern is decouple an abstraction from its implementation so that the two can vary independently. So that means bridge can be providing the abstraction. So that means here it will be eliminates the dependency. So that means objects can be act like as an independent way. So need not occurring the dependency here when we are using the bridge pattern. So and another thing is the composite pattern. So that means in some type of situations we need to combine more than one object into a single object. Okay, so that type of the situation will be followed in the composite pattern. So next one is the facade pattern. Create simplified interface of an existing interface to ease usage for common tasks. So that means when we are not able to performing the functions. So whenever users not feels comfort, so then we try to provide some easier interfaces to providing the easier interaction with the users. So that type of the purpose will be done by using the facade pattern, and another one is the flyweight pattern. So flyweight pattern, we try to remember this. So weight. So that means here we are giving some memory support. So in which type of it will be giving the support? A high quantity of objects share common properties. Object to save the space. So that means here we are saving the space. So in that type of way, we try to accommodate the remaining objects also. Okay, proxy pattern, a class of functioning as an interface to another thing. So this is also used like as an alternative way. So these topics are were all discussed in the last class. Just we try to revise one by one. So in the last classes, just we try to discuss each and every topic with some examples. Now we try to conclude the same type of topics today. Total topics in the fourth unit. Okay, first of all, we try to see what is an adapter. So in computer programming, the adapter pattern is a design pattern that translates one interface for a class into compatible interface. So that means whenever occurring the mismatches in the interfaces, then using the adapter, this is also referred as an wrapper. An adapter allows classes to work together that normally could not because of incompatible interfaces by providing its interface to clients while using the original interface. So that means here adapter allows the classes to work together that normally could not because of incompatible interfaces by providing its interface to clients while using the original interface. So that means in some type of situation, some of the interfaces not collaborate with the clients to performing its functions. So that means occurring the mismatches or maybe the some other problem within the interface collaboration. So at that time of the situation, we need to be using the adapter. So that means adapter is used for one interface, is used for interface for the another one. So that means here reducing the problem to performing the functionality in front of the clients. Okay. So the adapter translate the calls to interface into calls to the original interface, and the amount of code necessary to do this typically small. The adapter is also responsible for transforming data into appropriate forms. So another type of the responsibility of the adapter is it will be converts to the required format. For example, maybe this is already discussed in the last class. For example, maybe user asking in the point of maybe he is requires true or false. So maybe we are consider the values are, so maybe we are consider the values are 0 or 1. So then it will be converted to the true or false. So in the same way, for example, if we are entering the date format, for example, maybe if we are entering our date of birth, so then it will be converts to the actual age today. So as on today. So that means how many number of years, how many number of days, how many number of months, how many number of, so totally, what is the age of that person? So that will be calculated. So that means here the type of the thing is also performed by the adapter. So that means adapter purpose is avoiding the mismatches in the interfaces, and another thing, providing the actual data. So in which type of a users expecting from that software. So in that type of it will be performing the computation and giving the data to the clients. So structural patterns are used for describing the ways. Sorry, here I am mentioning waves. So actually that is ways. Structural patterns are used for describing the ways in which classes and objects can be merged together from large structures. The two important structural patterns are class pattern and object pattern. I think the name is implies. Class patterns are deals with the classes, and object patterns are deals with the objects. So the structural class patterns are used for describing the ways in which inheritance can be used to provide the more useful programming interfaces. So that means here the class patterns are used for describing the ways in which inheritance can be used. So what is the meaning of inheritance? So that means, so whenever we are able to drawing the new classes from the existing one. So that is nothing but inheritance. Then subclasses can able to inherit the data from the its parent classes. So structural object patterns are used for describing the ways in which objects can be composed into the larger structures. So that means here we are using the encapsulation. So that means here we are combining more than one into a single one. So these larger structures formed either by composition of objects or composition of new objects in exchange ones. So what is an adapter pattern? So an adapter pattern is a software design pattern that is used for transforming the programming interface of one class into another based upon the requirements of the client. So that means here we are transforming the one interface of the class into the another interface, and we try to giving the data in the requirements of the client. So it is also assist the classes to carry out the functionalities collaboratively, which might be impossible in case of inconsistent interface. It is known as wrapper. So that means here we are nothing but the main purpose of adapter is to assist the classes to carry out the functionalities collaboratively. So that means here verifying, so in which type of way those modules are properly functioned or not. So that means it will be maintain the some assistance. So in which type of way those are collaborated, and in which type of way they are performing the actions. So that type of the thing is also performed by the adapter pattern. So I'm explaining about this. So when we are explaining about these type of patterns better, you try to explain in the context of motivation, applicability, consequences, collaboration, implementation. So like this. So or maybe the consequences. So we also know about what is a motivation. In the last class also I'm revising about to this. So motivation means before using that particular concept, so in which type of way we are ready. Okay, here motivation. So the main purpose of using the adapter is transforming one interface into the another interface. So that means avoiding the mismatches in the interfaces. Am I right or not? So here the motivation behind the adapter pattern is to transform the program interface of one class into another. Okay, if the interface mismatches with the domain specific interface, then toolkit class dedicated for reusing cannot be used. So that means in some type of situations we are not able to using the same type of the class for to the another class. Using the toolkit. So using the same thing. Am I right or not? Okay, so at the time of the situation, how we are able to using the adapter. So assume drawing editor, which provides graphical objects whose interface is defined by an abstract shape class. It also defines subclasses for various kinds, graphical objects like line shape, polygon shape, test shape. So that means here we are consider some drawing editor. So the drawing editor provides different types of graphical objects. So and here we are consider the some subclasses. Those are maybe the so graphical objects like maybe the line shape, polygon shape, so test shape, etc. So comparatively, the test shape class is more difficult than other geometric shape classes like line shape and polygon shape. In the last class also, I am explaining about this. So why the test shape is very difficult? Why? Because so if it is a rectangle, we are able to easily draw that image by using that graphical editor. If it is a polygon, we are easily draw it. But if it is a test shape, so that means in the test shape, so we try to forming the test in the required type of the shape. So that is very difficult. We are already observed in the last classes. So actually test shape is very difficult. For example, maybe some group of words can be formed into the different types of the shapes. For example, maybe the lettering is, for example, maybe engineering. So that engineering maybe we try to represent in the some other shape. So in that shape, we are arranging these type of words. So that is very difficult. Okay, for displaying and editing the test, an off-the-shelf user interface toolkit is used. So that means here we are using off-the-shelf user interface toolkit for displaying and editing the test. So while designing the toolkit, the shape classes were not considered. Therefore, objects of the test view and test shape classes cannot be exchangeable. So that means here, in some type of situations, we are not able to exchanging these type of test shape and test view. So test view classes is changed in such a way that it conforms the shape interface. The test shape subclass must be defined in such a way that it adapts the interface of the test view class to shape the interface. So that means here we try to adapt that interface by using this toolkit. Okay, so at that time of the situation, we are able to easily replace the interface here. So this means this can be done into the two types of ways. One is the class adapter approach, and another one is the object adapter approach. So in the case of class adapter approach, it can be done by extending the shape class, interface, and test view implementation. Okay, and another one is the object adapter approach. It is used for composing a test view instance with the test shape subclass and implementing in terms of test views and interface. Okay, so if you are observed here, so this is the example for object adapter. So the main purpose of using the adapter is it will be using one interface to the act like as the interface for another one also. So that means here we are avoiding the conflicts within the interfaces collaboration. So what is the purpose of interface? If we are not maintaining the interface clearly, then any one of the client or maybe the user not easily interacting with the software. Okay, so the adapter object provides desired functionality which cannot be provided by adapter class. Consider an example wherein the user must be drag each and every object to the specified location. A test view is not designed with such features. The missing functionality can be implemented by using shapes create manipulator operation, which returns the instance of the corresponding manipulator subclass. So that means here we are using create manipulator. So that create manipulator can be able to uh, create manipulator is used for operate. It will be giving the some desired shape. Okay, whenever user input is provided to the manipulator is used for animating the shapes as per the user input. So the test manipulator, which is a subclass of the manipulator class, allows the user to manipulate the test shape objects in an interactive manner. So that means here we are using test manipulator. So the test manipulator will be converting the into the required interface. Okay. So next applicability. So when we are based upon to the adapter, then when we are based upon to the adapter actually, so that means whenever interfaces are not properly communicated with the clients. Am I right or not? So if you are observing here, when there is a need to use an already defined class whose interface does not correspond to the desired interface. So that means whenever interface not able to correspond it to the some particular class, then need to using the adapter. When reusable class need to be created, that is class do not have any consistent interface. Another one, subclassing perhaps is not possible for each and every class. Therefore, existing subclasses must be used as an object adapter can only be custom or adapt its parents class interface. Okay, so this is about the applicability. Another one is the participants, target, client, and another one is adapter, and another one is the test shape. So here we are based upon the four types of participants. So those are the first of all target. What is the target? Another one is the client who is using that shape. Another one is the adapter. Okay, so adapter means here defines the existing interface. So and it will be adapting whatever it may be we are giving that shape. So next one is the test shape. It is used for adapting the adaptive interface to the target interface. So that means initially we are specifying the target, next client, next what is the existing interface, and next one, so in which type of way it will be appear to the end user. So these are the participants. Collaboration. In the collaboration of adapter pattern, request of operations are called an adapter instance by the client. This adapter in returns the calls adaptive operations which serve the request. So that means whenever so client clicks that particular button, then if the interfaces are not properly communicating with the class, then we are based upon to the adapter. So that means whenever we are using request operation, then it will be invoking by the client. So this adapter written in the calls adaptive operations which serve the request. So that means here by using adapter we try to serve the request according to the client. So another one is the consequences. We also know about what is a consequence. So that means if we are based upon this method, so in, whether it is a benefit or not a benefit, or maybe they're giving the some limitations or maybe the some advantages. Specifying the status. Okay, class and objects are distinct entities, therefore they have different trade-offs. Benefits. Okay, the class adapter adapts the adaptive to target by allocating the concrete adapter class. The result will be class adapter which fails to adapt the subclasses along with the main class. So the adapter which is a subclass of the adaptive class overrides certain functionalities of adaptives. It makes a single object to reach the adaptive without using any pointers. So these are the benefits for the adapters. So that means up to now we are discussing about the adapter. In the exam point of view, may be asking, so what is the purpose of adapter, and giving the some write a short notes on the adapter, or maybe give some examples how we are adapting the required interfaces by using the adapter like this. Okay. So in the exam point of view, this is also the one of the important topic. Why? Because in this chapter, just only we are having the 7 topics. So those are belongs to the structural patterns. So those are used for to arranging the structure in the required format. So that means, for example, maybe when we are forming the structure, so at that time of the situation, we are performing different types of testings. So maybe if that particular module is not properly responded, then we try to modify by using the any one of the adapters. Okay. So the second one is bridge pattern. So here we are establishing the connection between two ends, or maybe we can implementing the we can avoiding the dependency. Okay, the bridge pattern is a design pattern used in software engineering, which is meant to decouple of an abstraction from its implementation, so that the two can vary independently. So that means here, so which are already dependent, when we are using the bridge, then those two are act like as an independent things. The bridge uses the encapsulation, aggregation, and can use the inheritance to separate the responsibilities into different classes. So that means here the bridge can be divided into the two classes. Okay, so 2 or more classes. When a class varies, often the features of object-oriented programming become very useful because changes to the program's code can be made easily with minimal prior knowledge about the program. So the bridge pattern is useful when both the class as well as what it does very often. So the class itself can be thought of as the implementation, and what the class can do as abstraction. The bridge pattern can also be thought of as 2 layers of abstraction. So what is the main intention of this bridge pattern? So that means here main objective of the bridge pattern is to separate the abstraction from its implementation in such a way that it can be modified independently. So that means we are already studied in the DBMS. So we are studying about the data independence. Am I right or not? So that means whenever we are performing any other type of modification on the existing data, so then it should not be reflect back, should not reflects to the some other data in a database. So that means, for example, in the, what we have studied in the DBMS is we are consider the two types of data independences: logical data independence, and another one is the physical data independence. For example, if we are updating the data in the physical level, then it should not be it should not those changes should not be reflects to the its higher level of the abstraction. Am I right or not? So in the same way, if you are modifying something, then it should not be reflects to the some other data. So that is the main thing. So that means here we are trying to create the objects in the independent way. Okay, so this is also referred to as handle our body. Okay, so in which type of we should be motivate this. So a single abstraction can be implemented in several ways. These ways can be accomplished by using inheritance, which is the motivation of bridge pattern. So that means it can be implemented by using the inheritance, because inheritance means we are drawing the new classes from the existing one. So that means we try to performing the decomposition. Am I right or not? So if any time of the situation we need to combine those subclasses into a base class. Am I right or not? So please wait here 1 minute. Okay. Hello. Okay, these ways can be accomplished by using inheritance, which is the motivation of bridge pattern. So, for example, making use of the inheritance, it is possible to define abstract class window as well as subclass X window and PM window, which implement the window interface for the different platforms. For example, if you are observing the diagram, so if you are observing here, window having the two types of subclasses, PM window and X window. So if any time of the situation we are not able to communicating with these subclasses, then we try to divide the another class, that is icon window. So icon window can be divided into the some other two subclasses. Those are PM icon window, another one is the X icon window. So that means here bridge can be using the inheritance to dividing the objects, and these objects can be used like as in the independent way. So that means here we try to avoid the property of dependency. So if you are allowing the dependency, then occurring different types of problems. Am I right or not? So if you are allowing the dependency, then we are not able to performing the operations in an independent way. So for example, maybe in the reality, for example, maybe if any type of the software maybe occurring the dependency. So that means what is the meaning of dependency? For example, maybe if one of the module operation is based upon to the another type of the module. So at that time of the situation, for example, if that module is not properly functioned at that time, so it is automatically reflect back to the its relevant module. Am I right or not? So that means automatically stopping the all modules functionalities. So that's why we try to avoid that type of the dependency between the modules. Then those type of modules work together independently without occurring any type of the problems. So otherwise we try to face the different types of problems, like maybe the bottleneck or maybe the deadlocks type of situations. So for that purpose we are using the bridges, and another one is use of inheritance makes the code platform dependent. So whenever window object is created by client, concrete class carrying specific implementation gets access. So we're already discussing about this. Okay. So applicability when we are using the bridges. So that means what is the need of bridge? So we try to maintain those type of objects in the independent way. So if you are observe here, preventing the permanent bind of abstraction from its implementation. For example, runtime implementation needs to be selected or switched. So that means here, for example, maybe what is the runtime binding? So we don't know up to run the program. So it will be binds to the something. So that means here we are providing the binding at the runtime. Here we are, what is the meaning of binding? Providing the association. Am I right or not? So that means one function call is attached to the some other method. So in the same way here, if you are providing the association before the compilation, that is static binding or maybe the compile time binding. If it is a runtime binding, that is also referred as a dynamic binding. Here we are specifying the association at the runtime of the program only. So at the time of the situation, we try to using in the dynamic way. Okay, preventing the permanent bind for abstraction from its implementation. So here we try to prevent the permanent binding. And another one, bridge patterns can be used to combine the abstractions with their associated implementation so that they can be extended without depending on others. So that means here we try to providing the functionalities without depending on another one. So any modification to the implementation of abstraction should not impact to the clients. So that for example, maybe if we are performing some updations, or maybe if we are performing some other type of operations, those type of operations should not be giving the impact onto the clients. So that means existing data is not lasted for any time of the situation. So please try to remember this property. Why? Because this is the main property when we are designing some softwares. Another thing here, the bridge pattern can be used in C++ to make the implement details of the abstraction transparent from its client. Okay, the bridge pattern is applicable on the pro- proliferation of classes where hierarchy indicates object must be divided into two separate parts. The bridge pattern is also used when an implementation shared among multiple objects. Moreover, this fact should not be revealed to the client. So that means here the client doesn't know about in which type of internally those type of operations are performed. So just he is receiving the service from the system, but he doesn't know. So what happened internally? Okay, this is the structure for bridge pattern. Okay, and these are the participants: abstraction, refined abstraction, implementer, and concrete implementer. So all these topics are we are discussed in the last classes. So the next one is the composite pattern. Okay, so composite pattern is describing that group of objects are to be treated in the same way, a single instance of an object. So the intent of a composite to compose the objects into tree structures to represent part of whole hierarchies. Implementing the composite pattern lets the clients trade individual objects and composite uniformly. So that means here we are combining more than one object into a single object and maintain some hierarchy. Okay, so and I'm not giving any type of the examples for the composite pattern. Why? Because if I'm giving the examples for each and every topic, it will be very lengthy. So you are not able to study in the exam point of view. Better you try to giving the some other examples. So we can combine any we can consider any type of the examples for to this. And the next one is so facade pattern. So facade pattern purpose is provides the simplified interface to a larger body of the code such as a class library. So this topic is already we have discussed in the last class. So main purpose. So make a software library easier to use, understand and test since the facade has convenient methods for common tasks. So that means by using the facade, so it will be giving the easier interfaces to maintain the easier interaction with the clients. Okay, so make the library more readable for the same reason and reducing the dependencies outside the code on the inner workings of the library. Code uses the facade thus allowing more flexibility in the developing the system. Okay, here we are using different types of application programming interfaces for reducing the complexity to accessing the objects. Okay, next one. Facade pattern is reducing the complexity by providing the interfaces to the clients. For example, maybe if we are consider the diagram. So this is already we discussed in the last class. So if you are observed here, so different types of clients can access the objects individually. So these are not having any type of the interfaces. So just by we try to using some other interface, facade. So that interface will be communicated with the three clients and it will be solving the problem to access the objects individually. So that means here we are reducing the complexity and provide the easier interaction. Okay. So that means here reducing the chances of occurring the problems by using the facade pattern. Okay. Next, this is the motivation in which type of will be ready. So the primary goal for facade pattern is reducing the dependency among the subsystems. Okay, and facade is a single object which achieves the goal by providing a simple and general interface to access all the classes of particular system. For example, maybe if you are consider the compiler, so compiler having different types of subclasses. So in the last class also I'm mentioning about that. So these subclasses having some interface to providing the functionalities. Am I right or not? So that means here compiler can act like as a facade. I think today our time is not enough to discuss all the topics in the 4th unit. So better we try to discuss remaining topics of the 4th unit tomorrow. So after then we try to go for the 5th unit. So I'm repeating the same thing. So no one please feel about this. Why? Because this is my hobby, or maybe this is my mannerism. After the completion of unit, I try to revise the total topics of the unit. Okay, maybe those are useful for better understanding, and you are able to giving the better presentation in the exam point of view. That is my intention. Okay, and another thing, if any member is having any type of the doubts, please ask me through my personal number, or maybe you can ask me in the during the class also. I am not having any type of objections. So better you try to asking the doubts after the end of the session, or maybe you can call or message me when you are free. Okay, then I will try to clarify your doubts if you having any type of the doubts regarding this subject. So okay, and you please remember this, don't try to forget submit the assignments today. So who are already sent to my mail, so please check once. So are you send the assignment to Google Classroom or not? So why? Because those are verified by our higher officials. So please send your assignments to that Google Classroom. Otherwise we can end the session today. Srinivas sir, may I end the session, sir?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.